Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. How is everybody doing out there? If you're with me here in Discord, or I guess in YouTube chat, because Discord is completely down right now, go ahead and drop an emoji in chat here. Discord is down, folks. Discord is down. They've been having some issues this morning, so go ahead and drop an emoji in chat here in YouTube chat if you're here with me. Hello there. Let's see. Looks like it might be up. Nope, still down. Hey, Trader Pixie. Hey, Mark. Yeah, Discord having some major issues right now. Could be a hack. Could be anything. But thankfully, we got YouTube here, and we can all chat in the YouTube chat here. Good morning, Larry. How we doing? So just watching here, we got an exciting print today. We have a very exciting session today for a couple different reasons. Hey, Jay, good morning. We got a lot of excitement around today because we have, oh man, we got a lot of stuff coming out. PCE is going to be out at 8:30. That's going to be out in 28 minutes. Steve says, good morning. Tried to sign up for your 7 trial this morning. It would not take the order. Maybe try a different card or see if your bank is blocking the transaction there. But it should be working. Just try a different card or maybe see if your bank is blocking that transaction. That's what I would suggest. So we have PCE out at 8:30. We have the Chicago PMI out at 9:45. And the Michigan sentiment out at 10 today. Also the Kansas City Services, Fed Services activity out at 11. And that's going to be our day. We also have, today is Friday, of course. Happy Friday to everyone in here. Friday is, this is the last trading day of the quarter here. The final trading day of Q3. Q4 starts on Monday, but this is the final day of Q3. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I can't wait for the Friday thing. Yeah, hopefully Discord is solved by then, because Discord, I had some issues very early this morning. Same kind of error that everybody was getting where you couldn't connect, messages weren't sending. And then it started working again. And now it's back to not working at all. So who knows? Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. It's pretty rare that Discord has issues, but when it does, it's crazy. Twitter's lighting up right now with a bunch of people talking about how Discord is down. Their status page doesn't say anything about it being down, but there you have it. So pretty unlikely here that I'm going to take a trade before that PCE print, because it's probably just going to be pretty choppy and range bound until then. Guess I could try to scalp around it, but I'd rather wait for the print and get a nice setup there. PCE, of course, is that the core personal consumption expenditure, and it really is a big metric here for the Fed on judging inflation. So we want to be keeping an eye out for that. I think it's one of their top metrics. So quarter end rebalancing flows today. We got the PCE print that is going to be digested all throughout the trade for the market today. We have the PMI as well. And the Michigan sentiment. All of these things are going to matter for the market today. So today is going to be an extremely volatile session. Extremely wild and volatile session here. But it's going to be exciting. Exciting and fun to trade. See that there's 20 of you folks in here. You guys know the drill. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit that like button right down there below. If you're not subscribed yet, we passed 600 subscribers for the Market Clubhouse YouTube channel here yesterday. We flew right past 600. So now our next goal is 700 subs here. See how fast we can get to 700 subs. See if we can hit that target by next week. But yeah, it's going to be pretty slow until then, but just keep in mind that PCE is going to be very, very important. Remember, that's the personal consumption expenditure reading. It's very similar to the CPI because that's consumer price index. But most of the time, the Fed relies more on, I'd say, the PCE versus the CPI because the PCE is generally a little bit more accurate. And they don't have the thing that is skewing the CPI print, at least recently, is the fact that the CPI includes the energy. And we've had fuel prices, gas prices going up and up and up. A nice little perk here in the NQ that we're watching. NQ coming up to that 53 level. But yeah, the CPI has a lot of things in it that the PCE does not, namely energy prices. And I think also food prices, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. But the PCE doesn't have those. And so the Fed kind of relies on that as a more accurate barometer of where the economy is with regards to inflation. Because the whole goal for the Fed right now, of course, is to curtail inflation and keep it under control as much as possible. Now, this PCE reading can go one of two ways. If it comes in extremely hot, if consumers are still very strong here, I think the markets will crater, given that will signal to the Fed that we're going to have interest rates higher for longer. Even though that's the dot plot that came out on the last FOMC, it still is important that this print is judged and weighed for the forward-looking future. So if we get a really cool print, a cooler than expected print, then we could definitely see the markets rally on that because the markets are forward-looking. They're looking ahead. You know, you don't invest for today, you invest for tomorrow. Stock market is looking ahead. It's a forward-looking instrument. So you would see these stocks start to rally. If we have that, that's going to signal to the Fed that they may not have to keep rates higher for longer. Just because the S&P dot plot came out and said that doesn't mean that it's set in stone. And the reason why is because if you look before that S&P dot plot came out, everybody was expecting that the Fed was going to come out and say, we've reached, potentially, we have reached the terminal rate and we're good. We're good. And we're going to drop rates maybe in the first quarter of 2024. That's not what they came out and said. In fact, it came out and said we might keep rates where they are 25 basis points higher than where they are. And we won't get our first cut until Q2 or Q3 of 2024. So higher for longer. If this PCE read comes out and it's way cooler than expected, this would be an outlier print. I'm not expecting that myself, but if it was an outlier print, then you would have the Fed being able to make adjustments. And remember, the next FOMC meeting is going to be in just about a month, November 1st. So November 1st is that next FOMC meeting. Between now and then, they could get enough data where they come out and say, we're not even going to hike it another 25 basis points, even though the money markets are pricing that in right now. I believe it's a 60% chance the money markets are pricing in of another 25 basis point hike and then a hold. If we get a cooler than expected reading today, it can start to add to the chance of this being the current terminal rate right now. But again, this is all speculation. It's all up in the air. This PCE print will matter, but it's not the only print that's going to be out between now and the November FOMC meeting. There's going to be a lot of different data points that are going to be coming out between now and then. This is an important one. So let's see how the market reacts on this. The print is out in 20 minutes. If you tuned in yesterday, you guys know that I like to play these prints as an afterglow if it sets up that way. If we get an extremely outlier print and I can try to catch a move off of the print, I will. I'm a momentum trader at my core, so I like to catch those big velocity moves. And so if we do get a print that is going to be very directional and may not whip around all that much, well, then I'd be interested in taking that. And if it's sort of a mixed print, because we do have some other data points that are coming out. We have the wholesale inventories, advanced goods trade balance, the personal income, personal spending, real personal spending read as well. So all of these prints are going to be coming out simultaneously at 8:30. So if we have a congruent print across the board and it's all weighted to one direction, then maybe I'll take a ride either up or down as that move is transpiring. However, if it's a mixed print, we'll probably wait until the market comes up to one of our key levels, watching our key levels here and seeing if it comes up potentially maybe to this order block up here that's been resting for a few days, which coincides with our level of 22. So we shall see. Right now, market is rallying here off of our 929.25 level, bouncing off that low there. I suppose I could have taken a scalp off that level, but just want to be patient and wait here. So yeah, we have just over 15 minutes until that print here. Let's see if Discord is still down. Curious about this. Plus 600 subs. Yeah, we did it. We did it yesterday. Can you believe it? It's growing so fast. When we started streaming, yeah, it's still down. When we started streaming, doing these morning lives, we were at, I think, about 400 subs. So we've grown 200 subs since we started doing the live stream here. Discord is down. Just going to have future stream all day. Yeah, I think they'll fix it within the hour. I'm pretty confident in that. Yeah, everybody is. Lost on the Way says, I'm blocked from Discord. Everybody's blocked right now. There's nobody who can get into Discord. I don't even think if the phone app is working. Maybe the phone app's working. Let's see here. Let's see. Test. Do a test message here. Maybe the phone app's working. Discord desktop, all fine for me. Have you tried sending a message there? See if it works for sending a message there. You know, it might. It works. Okay. Oh, it's been up and down this morning. Let's see, yeah, still blocked for me. Yeah, maybe it's regional as well. Maybe it's just based on certain servers, endpoints, where some folks can connect and some others can't. So I'm sure they'll get it solved. It's a big company. So 15 minutes here until this print. I'd be pretty excited to see the market rally up to this order block here, and then we can get a nice reject trade off of that to the south side here. So I'd like to see a nice push. I am sort of inclined to take the market long here just to kind of ride this momentum before the print. Could keep a pretty tight stop here below 953, small size. So that is potentially what I'm looking at here. Yeah, why not? Take a flyer here. Keep my stop pretty tight right around here. Get the Ninja Trader working over here. So we'll take a flyer. We're looking for this to hold above 53.25 here. Small size, just one lot. And we can kind of have that riding for the print as well, just on one lot, because the stop, you know, we have a stop in. If it takes us out, it'll tag our stop. And our stop is well above that lower 29.25 level. But we'll let this trade work going into the print. Fully assuming the risk reward here that we can get that rally up to 22. Yeah, we're getting a nice push here. How about that? Big push. Making new hourly highs here. So ideally what we'd want to see is a really big perk above 975. If we get that push above 975, we'd be pretty squeezy here. I mean, the market has been in a crazy uptrend. The overnight move was absolutely insane. If we're looking back here on the chart, overnight move was from 825. I mean, over 100 points. An insane move here from these lows. Really interesting pajama trader pattern here. Really interesting one. But yeah, this thing's catching some bids here, holding above 53 and a quarter. We are kind of at the topping area of this liquidity right now. So we want to see it kind of break on through that area right there. So let's see if we can get that push. Oh, got to show that. We're kind of holding at this topping area of liquidity here. So if we get that push and we break above that 75 level right here, then I think we get some action there to the top side. A little bit of a squeeze. So let's see. The print too could have it where it pops up and then, or pops down, whips us out of our stop because it could be such a violent print, and then continues higher. But that's the whisk, the whisk. That's the risk I'm willing to assume here in a trade like this, going into the print. Keeping our stop right there at the bottom of those candles there. Oh, again, wrong screen. There we go. Dixie's actually down right now too. The dollar's been trending lower, so pretty interesting to see that as well. Headline is expected for the PC to be up 0.5%. The core is expected to be up 0.2% month over month. So if those readings come in cooler than expected, then I think that the markets are going to scream to the top side here. And it almost seems that somebody has an early read on this based on the flows of the market here. A break above 75 before the print would be pretty indicative that we are going to see a lot of that action there to the upside. So 10 minutes until the print, 10 minutes. And we're just holding this NQ position with an average of 959 here. If you're ever curious if I'm in a trade or not, you can see right up here. Right here is going to show you the amount of lots that I have. Right here is going to show you my average price. If you're ever curious about how many lots I have or what I'm trading, you're always going to be able to look right above me and see those two numbers right there. And then that number in the middle right there is the current P&L on the trade of how many lots I currently have on. It's not going to show you the running P&L, but it will show you how many, what the current P&L is for the current position. So if I had 2 lots and I took one off, it's going to show you whatever the P&L is for that one lot that's still on. What time frame do you trade on? Well, I have the chart up right here so that you guys can follow along. This is just the 30-second here, over here. I don't trade on that. I'm just having that so you guys can kind of see the tick-by-tick action here. But I generally trade off a 15-minute bar chart there. 15-minute. Lowest time frame would be a 3-minute. We are perking up towards that 75 level now. But lowest time frame would be like 3-minute at the lowest. Using 3-minute candles. But generally 15 minutes is where I'm looking for entries and the market structure. 4 hour dropped into 1 hour, 1 hour dropped into 15 minute, usually around that. So just kind of holding here. Hey, good morning there, ABD. That's a Ninja Trader. I got Bookmap up here, Ninja Trader over there. If you ever wanted to start trading futures, there's a link in the description down below. I recommend trading with Top Step. You don't have to pay for any of the apps or software or data. You just pay that fee to get your account, and you can start trading as soon as today. It's a great way to get started trading futures. Highly recommend it. Especially if you've never traded futures before. They give you a practice account. What is better, Apex or Top Step? They're two completely different ones. I prefer trading on Top Step because there's no interposition trailing drawdown. So I personally like Top Step. I think it's better for newer traders because with Apex you have a trailing drawdown that's interposition. So if you go up in a position $500 and then it comes back down to zero, that $500 that you didn't realize counts against you, whether or not you realize the profit on that trade or not. So right now on this trade, I think we peaked up about $200 in profit, and now we're back down at about break even. If this was an Apex account, that $200 would be counted now against my trailing drawdown. Even though I haven't touched the trade, I haven't taken it down, it hasn't really affected my account. Versus if Top Step right now, if I close the trade right now down $70, it would only affect my account by $70. And so that's why I prefer using Top Step over Apex. Top Step, you can trade up to 3 accounts at once. On Apex, you can trade up to 20 accounts at once. But I think you have to be much more scalpy with Apex accounts. I traded Apex accounts. I did just fine with them. I took a $20,000 payout from Apex about, when was that, last month? The end of August. And it was great. They paid out great. Had no issues getting paid, and it was fun to trade, but it was not as pure. Top Step is more like trading your own money versus Apex. You're kind of trading a game within a game. It's a little bit more challenging. So if you're a newer trader, I would highly recommend using Top Step. We have that link down below. You can get 60% off all the Combine accounts, and I think your first reset is 50% off. So it's a really good way to get started trading futures, in my opinion. So we got 5 minutes now until the print. Let's see if we can get up to 20 likes here on the live stream here. Heading into this PCE print, we do have one lot of NQ on with a 959 average. We have our stop down there at 946 3/4. We're going to cross our fingers and hope that the print doesn't whip down wildly and stop us out. And we'll try to manage our risk if it sails up to the top side here. Target would be pretty high up there at 22. This print can move the market extremely, so let's just hope that we don't get stopped out here. That's pretty much it. But like I said, on a print like this, we are definitely assuming the risk that we're gonna, if it goes to the downside there, if we get stopped out, what will we lose here? Let's see. So on our stop, we lose $245. So we're risking $245 for the upside move of probably about $800 here. So a little bit shy of 4-1. Are you still trading the Combine? No, I trade 3 XFAs. I trade 3 Top Step XFAs. I think the combines are much easier to pass on Top Step as well because of that no interposition trailing drawdown. And it's just much more like real trading in my opinion. It's like trading your own money. And it's a great way if you've never traded before, it's a great way to start. Nice. I see we pushed this over 20 likes there. Thank you, folks. Well done. We did it. All right. We got 3 minutes until the print. 3 minutes. We got book map up here as well. We want to probably be a little bit zoomed out for the print here. To see how this affects the market. We're currently in this pocket of liquidity up here. We want to see it break above 75 and then make its way up to 22 into that order block there. Is NinjaTrader better than Tradeovate and Quantower? I personally like NinjaTrader because I've been using it for a long time, but I've heard great things about Quantower. Tradeovate, you can connect to TradingView, so you can trade off of the TradingView app. And on your phone, you can trade mobile with the Tradeovate app as well. So it really just comes down to personal preference. I'm trading on NinjaTrader right now. I personally like NinjaTrader myself. It's very lightweight. It's very snappy. But if you're on Mac, you got to use something like Tradeovate. If you're on PC, I would use NinjaTrader myself. But I've heard, again, great things about Quantower. Why NQ versus ES? ES is very slow, in my opinion, and I like the volatility that you get from the trade in the NQ. Wish I joined in on futures months ago with everyone in the clubhouse. I'm hooked now. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I mean, you're really not assuming all that much risk when you're trading with these funded accounts. That's the best part. You're not putting your own money on the line, and the fees and differences between putting your own money on the line are night and day. So about 1 minute here, 1 minute until the print. Let's see if we end up getting stopped out, if the price whips down on us here, or if we get a cooler than expected print. If it's cooler than expected, we will see the market rally here. $30 seconds till the print. Here we go. Good luck, everybody, if you are deciding to play this. We might get a whip right down to 25 and then a bounce back up. But let's see. Let's see how this plays out. 5 seconds. Good luck. Huge perk up. 1/10 cooler than expected. So there's our cool print. So tagging that 15,000 level. So looking for that 22 level now. I'm just going to close it right there because it came above 15,000, a little bit of a pullback there. So closing it there. We came very close to that order block, so I tried to close it as closely as I could to that order block. You can see right there, that's the order block I was watching. So we nailed that trade. We got a really favorable PCE print there. So what does that put us at now? $1,600 on the day. Nice and easy. So up $1,600. We had that print favorable. We had our stop in place where we were only risking $245 to the downside. Systematic up $1,255. Guys, give it up for Systematic in here, crushing it. Dasco, nice work, $970. Well done, everybody. Looks like we had some killers in here on the live stream. So I'm back to flat here. That was only on one lot as well. Discount, nice work, up $2,300. Way to go. That's awesome. Well done, everybody. So just on one lot there, $1,600 on that trade, risking only $245 to the downside there. I think that's a really nice risk to reward on that. And it played out perfectly because we were watching right into that push into that order block. And I was holding out for that push above 993, watching how the tape was interacting with that $15,000 level in the NQ. So at 15,000, it kind of had a little shuffle around. I was waiting for that last pull above 15,000. We got that last pull and it started to pull back, and that's when we closed our trade right there. So really happy with that. See if there's any more opportunities here setting up. So very strong print there for the markets. Just to go over everything there. The preliminary wholesale inventories came in at negative 0.1% versus a negative 0.2% estimate. The advanced goods trades balance came in at negative 84 billion versus a negative 91 billion estimate. However, personal income came in line 0.4% versus a 0.4% estimate. The big one was the PCE deflator. It came in 10 basis points lower at 0.4% versus a 0.5% estimate. And the year over year was in line at 3.5%. So a touch cooler on the month over month. And that's what the Fed wants to see. I wouldn't call that an extreme print, because an extreme print would have seen us right through 15,000, right into that order block, probably auctioning just above 15,022 there. So overall, fantastic print, fantastic trade there. And there we have it. So happy that we put that lot on before the print happened, because trying to chase that print, we probably would have got filled. If we're looking at Bookmap here, we probably would have got filled somewhere maybe in this range up here, and maybe catching 20 handles to the upside there. But yeah, happy to have that trade on when we did. We had a 59 average, 959 average, and we covered just below 15,000 there. So we're just looking to see if there's any setup here, any opportunities after this. Just watching here. Seeing if there's any other setups, any other trades that I want to take here on stream. But hey, what a great way to go into our Friday together. That was a fantastic Friday trade, futures Friday trade there. Really, really favorable print for us. But I now think that the market is kind of looking at the other data points that came out. If we're looking at the advanced goods trade balance, a little bit hotter than expected. We wanted to see negative 91 billion on the estimate. It came in negative 84 billion. So a little bit hotter there. The only print that was cooler was that PCE deflator with 10 basis points lower than expected. Again, it was expected at 0.5%, and it came in at 0.4%. So a touch cooler there, but not, if it came in at, let's just say it came in at 0.1%, that would have been, that's the print that sends us above 15,022 there. Discount says, I could see this mean reverting. Yeah, I can as well. I'm just not willing to take a trade here because of the volatility back down to the downside. If we had a break below 53 and a quarter here, 953 and a quarter, if we had a violent break below that, I could see us definitely seeing some action there to the downside. But one trade right there to make $1,600. If that's your only trade on the day, that's all you need to do with futures. It really is, waiting for a really good setup. Fortunately, we got lucky on that print there. We had our stop in line where we had our good risk reward there. and everything worked out in our favor. Some days you're going to have it where your trade doesn't work out, but that's okay. That's why you use stops, and never trade futures without a stop. Never go into a futures trade without a stop. If you are enjoying what we're doing here, folks, please make sure that you hit this video with a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed with your notifications turned on, as you will be notified anytime that I am going live here on the stream. We will do some midday streams here coming up in October, some surprise midday streams. And the only way that you're going to be able to catch that is either if you're subscribed here on YouTube or if you follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, which is right down here. So yeah, there's our print for the day. The next print, the next data print that is out is not until 15 minutes after the market opens. That's going to be at 9:45, and that's the Chicago PMI. That's going to be out at 9:45. So pulling back up here, just watching the price action. So we are kind of in no man's land right here. And this is kind of where the print is right now. So for me, definitely holding off here. I think that you have some folks that likely missed that move to the upside, and they're looking for this pullback right here. And they're probably salty that they missed that print. You can see right here, here was our entry, and then there was our exit. We almost top ticket exit there. We're just a touch below 15,000. High was 8.25 there. So what I was watching for on that print specifically was I really wanted to see that 15,000 break, which we saw right there on that candle break, and then a little slight pullback here, and then it broke again. That second test above 15,000, what I was looking for was a blow through that level all the way up to our level of 22. But because we had such a harsh pullback, that second test through 15,000, that's where I got the inclination to close the position there. So overall, very happy with how we conducted ourselves on that trade. Obviously, we had that favorable print that helped us out, but how we reacted after that print, holding steady, holding strong, not immediately exiting that print and waiting for it to develop, coming up to those key levels and reacting once we had a little bit more market information to guide us through that trade there. Does anybody have any questions about that trade? I saw at least 3 or 4 of you folks in here that caught something similar, at least in YouTube chat. So again, hats off to everybody who nailed that trade. Really love to see that. We are pushing up and holding here. Looking across the board at tech right now, Microsoft strong, NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta, and Apple all very strong here. Obviously, with an NQ print like that, you're going to see the components of the NQ rallying here. Microsoft has been in an interesting channel to the downside. In Market Clubhouse, we track all of these different equities, but it's been in this very interesting channel for the last 3 trading sessions. On Thursday, Wednesday, and Tuesday's trading session, we had it sort of bottoming out at this 310 level. And we've been keeping a very close watch on that 310 level. And we've been noticing that there's been a hefty amount of buyers, a hefty amount of buying activity into that low 310 level. And it's now perked up, and we're now back into this pocket of liquidity that exists between 316 and 318. So we are going to be watching that today in Clubhouse. It's going to be dictating a lot because Microsoft is the number 2 weight for both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. So it carries a lot of push and pull for the market. It dictates a lot of these moves. Josh says, thanks, Rips. Got to boot up my computer from my cruise ship room. Plus $4,700. Way to go. Time to go have some drinks before we set sail. Well, cowabunga, that's awesome. Have a safe trip and enjoy your cruise. That is so cool. That's the way to do it. Making $4,700 while you're on vacation. I love to hear that. That is amazing. Great work there, Josh. Really love to see that. What a trade. So awesome. So we are pushing back above that 15,000 level again. You can see here on the book map here, we had a lot of liquidity pull right through that 15,000. That's that bubble right there. A lot of liquidity pulled off of the ask there, and we are rallying again. I really would love to see the market kind of rally up to this 22 level, and because that's coinciding with where our order block is right here. You can see on our e-signal chart here. That's right where our order block is. So what I really like to see is a pull up into that area, and then we can confidently take that short there. We did a webinar on order blocks, the introduction to order blocks in the Clubhouse on Monday. And then I was planning on Thursday or Friday to do our advanced order block strategy webinar, but I'm pushing that to Monday now. So Monday, we're going to be having a great session in Clubhouse after the bell, where we're going to be talking about advanced order flow strategy, talking about how it conveys the market structure when we're looking at these order blocks, and very specific setups on how you can trade around these order blocks to give you a really good probabilistic chance to nail your trade. So that's going to be on Monday. I'm super excited about it. We are pushing up higher here, now testing that hourly high of 8 3/4. Do we make a new hourly high? We may have there. No, it looks like we're right around the same area there, right there, that hourly high. Just looking across the board here at all the components of the NQ, keeping an eye on all of the tickers that matter. We are getting a pullback there. So as long as we're holding above this 15,000 this 15,000 psych level, as long as we're holding above that, I do think that we have a chance of testing that higher level of 22. It does look like there's a decent amount of bid support holding 15,000 for now. But again, I'm not confident enough to take a trade. Again, we're in this no man's land here. Where I'm confident in taking a trade is if we come up and we touch that order block and we start to see the market exhausting there. Then I'd want to be potentially taking this short. And the only reason why is because we didn't have confluence across the board with these prints. If we had weakness across all of these prints, I would not be looking to take the market short here. But the fact of the matter is that this is a long-standing order block here in the NQ. Very much long-standing order block. In fact, it goes all the way back to the session from the 22nd. So a week ago. This is a Friday order block. And so it's been unmitigated. It qualifies all of the four criteria that you need to have a valid order block. And if we come up to that level and we are showing weakness, the fact of the matter is that we didn't have confluence across the board in these prints. If we are seeing that and the market is kind of exhausting at that level, I think it's a good level to short. And then targeting to the downside initially that 93 1/4, but the bigger move looking for 53, 929, 914, those big levels there to the downside. The beauty of the NQ is that this thing moves. It's not a docile instrument. There's a lot of folks who maybe they trade large caps, small caps, or other instruments in the market here, and you'll often find folks, complaining about, oh, the market, there's nothing going on. I'm going to take a vacation. I'm taking some time off. Well, there's never been a better time to start trading futures. I'm telling you. Futures have such an amazing opportunity day in and day out. You'll be able to find at least 10 handles somewhere. If you're patient enough, you can find 10 handles. 10 handles in the NQ on one single lot is $200. $200 a day. That's not bad. If you're just doing this on the side, casually, whatever, you can find 10 handles in the NQ on the daily. I'd be hard pressed if you couldn't. Yesterday, the move was 200 handles. On 200 handles with one single lot, look at that. We almost came up. We almost just kissed it right there at the top of that order block. Wow. On 200 handles, on one single lot, that's $4,000. On 200 handles, and that's what we saw yesterday. That's $4,000. That's crazy. I mean, that's nuts. And that's only on one lot. If you're trading one of these top step accounts, you can trade 15 lots. 15 lots is plenty to be able to make money. So just watching this pullback here, coming back down below that 15,000 level. Extremely volatile here. If it did push all the way up into that order block and it actually, scraped into it, maybe I would have taken a trade here, but didn't get that confident pull that I was looking for. And that's okay. It's okay to miss trades. It's okay you don't have to nail every single trade out there, right? It's okay to miss trades. It's okay nothing's going to happen if you miss a trade. You don't have to put on risk all the time. You don't have to be trading all the time. In fact, there was a setup that was an order block setup that we talked about on Tuesday. I believe it was Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday's trade. We had a beautiful order block that showed up, and it came up to that price, shorted it confidently. It shuffled around in that area for a little bit, and then it dropped like a stone. And I just waited all day for that one single setup, and I pounced on it. I think that one single setup brought in $1,500 across my XFAs, my 3 XFAs. And I think that was the only trade I took all day. And so when you have a setup like that, just be patient. You're waiting and waiting and waiting. You stock that setup. You hit that setup. Whatever happens, happens. You have your stop in place. And that's it. That's trading right there. It doesn't have to be where you're sitting there all day long pushing buttons. And it's great for folks that, if you have a job, a part-time job or something else where you can't sit here and trade all day. Well, you can have that time to trade just right off the open, looking for setups off the open. If nothing appears, then you take no trades that day. And futures aren't going anywhere. That's the beauty of it. Futures are not going anywhere. They're one of the most popular products to trade. And big funds are using the S&P E-mini to hedge a lot of their trades. A lot of their books are hedged by using the S&P E-mini. So there's tons of liquidity in it. It's a very liquid market, and it moves in a way where there's a lot of different times during the day where you can pick up at least a little bit of alpha. Like I said, on the NQ, you're going to be able to find 10 handles somewhere during the day. If you're patient enough, you wait for it, you stock a smart setup, you can snipe that, and you'll be on your way. See how many folks we got in here. 34 of you in here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys on this Friday stream. So nice pullback here to that 93 level now and fading a touch. So we did see a little bit of exhaustion above 15,000, but I do think that we could probably chop and chop until we get the open here, the New York Open at 9:30, which by the way is going to be about 45 minutes from now. You can see here we're just kind of chopping around here. Volume is steadily going down bit by bit here, but you can see this big spike of volume right here on that print. Over 2,000 contracts there to the top side. Let's see what happened with the ES here. I'm loading this up. So ES, that moved, looks like 58 to, let's call it 68. So 10 handles. There was a question that I had in here earlier. Why NQ instead of the ES? Well, the ES, it's much more slow. And you don't have the same type of opportunity, in my opinion, that you have in the NQ. Because if you miss the move in the NQ, you have this pull down here. This pull back, you can take 975 up to 15,000. That's 25 handles. 25 handles on one single contract is $500. On the ES, if you're trading one single contract, it's $50 a point. So let's say you grab the pullback here, 61 to 68. That's 7 points. You're only making $350. So in my opinion, you have a lot more opportunity in the NQ. It just moves a little bit faster. It moves a little bit faster, so it can be a little bit trickier to trade. But it's a bountiful opportunity if you practice on the NQ. That's the other beauty of trading on these accounts, is that they give you a practice account where obviously the whole account is practice in a sense, right? Because you're trying to prove to the prop firm that you can actually trade well. But if you don't want to trade your test account, the one that's called a combine or an evaluation account, they also give you a practice account that you can trade that doesn't have any effect on how you're doing during the evaluation period. And if you've never traded futures before, it's a great way to kind of start pressing buttons and seeing what happens, testing how stops work, working with trailing stops, ATM strategies, or what have you. It's all just a very good way to get your feet wet. When I started trading futures years and years and years ago, I had to put up my own money, and I lost a lot of it trying to learn how to trade futures. And that's how it goes for most people. Most people, I mean, you don't go to college to learn to trade. There's no real way to learn how to trade unless you have a community like the one that we have here called Market Clubhouse, or you have a friend that teaches you how to trade, or you just get your fingers dirty. You start pressing buttons and you see what happens, and you're self-taught. I have a mix where I was self-taught, and I also had some professional traders that were my friends that worked for some larger banks that gave me a lot of insight into a lot of how this works. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at in my journey today. So it's, again, the barrier to entry for trading something like Top Step, it's $49 to get started. I mean, you can learn so much just by pushing buttons and seeing what happens, and you're really not putting yourself at risk. If I wanted to do that and I wanted to push buttons when I first started, I mean, I was losing thousands and thousands of dollars doing that. But that's the tuition you have to pay sometimes to learn the market. That's how it goes. But this was well before that we had any of these funding programs that existed out there. That I had no idea these opportunities existed way back when. And a lot of these companies weren't even around. Top Step's been around for 10 years now. I've been trading just over a decade. So they're around, and I just didn't know about them at the time. But funding companies are becoming more and more prominent. So it's really cool to see that. It's really cool to see that for the industry. Obviously, very, very difficult to trade. But if you give it enough time and you put in enough effort, like anything else, you put in enough hours, you'll start to see your progress turn into more progress. And you'll go from being a terrible trader, which we all are when we start, right? Sometimes we get lucky on the onset. I got very, very lucky on the onset when I very first started trading. Like I said, over a decade ago. But most of the time, you either get lucky and then you stop getting lucky and then you learn what trading's all about. Or you don't get lucky at all. Maybe you just leave it and you never do it again. But for the most part, you end up being a terrible trader for your first year, 2 years. Some folks get it quicker than usual. Some folks can learn it in 6 months. But I'm forever a student of the market. I'm forever learning. I'm always learning each and every day. There's always something that I can learn from that I'll put in my journal. And I can say, okay, well, let's focus on this the next day. Let's try this. That's the beauty of trading. Every single day, it's a brand new situation. We're always blessed with a brand new scenario. And every single day is different from the last. And that's what keeps me coming back with trading. That's what keeps my love ignited for trading. And I will forever be in gratitude for this opportunity to be able to trade the markets. I just absolutely love it. So we're coming up to the end of the stream here. Up $1,600 on that trade. Nice 1 minute scalp there on that print. Again, we were risking about $240 there to the downside. And we got that favorable print that we're looking for. Had our stops in place in case we were wrong. Of course, the price could have whipped right down and stopped us out. But thankfully it didn't. We had that nice push to the top side there. And that netted us $1,684. $1,600.84 there. So I'm going to be wrapping it up here on YouTube. I'm going to be going into the market discount, the Market Clubhouse Discord. And I'll be doing the morning call over there. And then we're going to be doing some live trading during the day. And today is the end of the quarter. It's going to be the end of quarter rebalancing flows. The final hour today is going to be extremely, extremely volatile. And if you are going to trade today, you do need to keep your head on a swivel. It's going to be a very intense session, especially that final hour. Usually you'll see in the final hour, final 30 minutes, even down to the final 10 minutes, you'll see a lot of volatility there. Big price whips in the indices. So keep an eye out for that. You're going to have a lot of movement today after we kind of find some sort of direction in the market, but it can be very whippy. We can have the market ripping to the top side, and we have the market cratering down and whipping around and doing loop-de-loos and be a total roller coaster. So be prepared for anything today, and be careful more than anything. Trade well within your means. Don't start going on tilt. Don't size up like crazy. Just trade safe, okay? All right, folks, wrapping it up here. If you're enjoying what we're doing, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you are subscribed so you can be notified anytime that we go live. And I will see everybody over in the Market Clubhouse. And if I don't see you guys in the Clubhouse, I will see you guys on Monday here on YouTube at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I will be streaming Bookmap as I always do throughout the day. And it's going to look like this. It'll be full screen so you can watch it throughout the day there, just like that. But we are wrapping up here, up $1,600 to finish out our week and finish out Friday. All right, folks, good luck out there. Have a great Friday. Happy Friday to you all. Have a great trading day and good luck out there. Take care.